Foyle's War was more than just a gripping wartime detective series. It was a launchpad that propelled its talented cast into the spotlight. Behind the polished characters and period costumes were actors whose lives were marked by profound and sometimes shocking transformations. From childhood dreams to private battles with illness, addiction, and the dark side of fame, their stories are as riveting as any episode of the show. In this video, we'll explore what happened to this cast, their real names, and where they are today. We'll also uncover what led to their dramatic career turns. Some of their transformations might just surprise you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go. Honeysuckle Weeks as Samantha Stewart. Honeysuckle Weeks, born August 1st, 1979 in Pembroke, Wales. When Honeysuckle was 23, she played Samantha Stewart, a spirited, intelligent young driver brimming with enthusiasm in Foyle's War, 2002. With her radiant smile and effortless charm, Weeks brought Sam vividly to life, quickly becoming one of the series' most beloved characters. Growing up in rural Wales, Weeks enjoyed a free and imaginative childhood, often sprinting across fields and staging homemade plays for her family. The daughter of an artistically inclined family, she was drawn to the stage early on, but her first dream was to become an archaeologist, fascinated by ancient stories. Her vibrant personality and captivating energy helped her stand out in early minor roles until Sam made her a star. Fame came quickly, but not without fractures. In 2016, Weeks shocked fans when she mysteriously disappeared for several days, sparking panic among loved ones. Upon her return, she revealed that the pressures of work and life had pushed her into a severe depression, a far cry from the eternally optimistic Sam. Once known for her bright blonde hair, Weeks embraced a minimalist style with deep brown locks and a sleek fashion sense. She began running marathons and taking art therapy courses, regaining a sense of balance and peace. Her marriage to Lorne Stormont Darling also faced turbulence. Disagreements over work-life balance led to tense arguments, and in 2017, they briefly separated before reconciling through counseling. Weeks has since spoken openly about her mental health struggles and become a passionate advocate for mental wellness campaigns. Now 45 in 2025, she continues acting, mostly in stage plays, and recently appeared in a small TV series. Her estimated net worth is around £2 million. From carefree young girl to a woman confronting her inner battles, Weeks' journey is a dramatic and inspiring story that's impossible to ignore. Corin Redgrave as ACC Rose. Corin Redgrave, born July 16, 1939 in Marylebone, London. When Corin was 64, he portrayed ACC Rose, a commanding and principled police officer in Foyle's War, 2003. Stern yet fair, Rose walked the moral tightrope of duty and justice, adding gravitas to every episode he appeared in. Born into the legendary Redgrave acting family, Corin grew up in the shadow of his famous parents. A sensitive and introspective boy, he often found refuge in poetry and writing, a habit that gave his performances unique emotional depth. Already known for A Man for All Seasons, 1966, it was his role in Foyle's War that solidified his stature in British television. But his later life was shadowed by illness. In his final years, Corin was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, a devastating blow that led to a noticeable decline in his once dashing appearance. Gaunt and fragile, he began journaling, capturing reflections on life and the meaning of art with remarkable clarity. His marriage to Kika Markham endured the strain of illness, especially during their final months filled with heartbreaking conversations about the future. Yet their love remained steadfast. Corin Redgrave passed away on April 6, 2010, at age 70, leaving behind an estimated £4 million and a majestic theatrical legacy. Michael Kitchen as Christopher Foyle. Michael Kitchen, born October 31, 1948, in Leicester, England. When Michael was 54, he took on the role of Christopher Foyle, a calm, razor-sharp detective guiding viewers through the morally complex cases of Foyle's War, 2002. As the series' anchor, Foyle's unshakable integrity and intellect stood firm amid the chaos of wartime Britain. Raised in a middle-class household, Kitchen spent a peaceful childhood in Leicester, absorbed in history books and school plays. His acting potential emerged early when he won a drama competition, setting him on a lifelong artistic path. He gained recognition through Out of Africa, 1985, but it was Foyle that made him a British television icon. Fame brought rewards and burdens. Years of relentless filming left Kitchen burned out, plagued by chronic insomnia and anxiety. He turned to meditation to restore his balance and discover deeper personal insight. He also embraced a healthier diet, favoring vegetables to maintain vitality. His personal life wasn't without strain. His marriage to Rowena Miller nearly collapsed under the weight of his career obsession. A serious argument in 2005 almost ended things, but with therapy and long conversations, they found their way back. Kitchen later admitted that portraying Foyle made him value family more. At 76, he still appears occasionally on stage and serves as a consultant for television projects. His net worth, largely from Foyle's War and earlier roles, is estimated at £5 million, a testament to his quiet dedication and impact. J. Benedict as Captain John Kiefer. J. Benedict, born April 13, 1951, in Burbank, California. When Jay was 55, he played Captain John Kiefer, a charming yet morally complex American officer in Foyle's War, 2006. Kiefer's layered character and chemistry with Foyle made for some of the show's most memorable moments. Raised in California, Benedict was a lively, film-obsessed boy who often mimicked Hollywood stars. His family moved to the UK when he was young, where his acting journey began. Before Foyle's War, he had roles in films like Aliens, 1986. But Kiefer truly showcased his depth. His life took a tragic turn with illness. In 2020, Benedict contracted COVID-19, which led to severe respiratory failure. His health declined rapidly, with his once robust frame reduced to a frail shadow. In his final days, he wrote heartfelt letters to his family, reflecting deeply on love and existence. His marriage to Phoebe Schofield faced pressures due to long work-related absences. In his final months, they had painful but honest discussions about the future, yet their bond remained unbroken. Benedict passed away on April 4, 2020, at age 68, leaving behind a £2 million net worth and an international film legacy. Daniel Weyman as Adam Wainwright. Daniel Weyman, born in 1977 in Newcastle upon Tyne, England. When Daniel was 36, he portrayed Adam Wainwright, a kind and empathetic vicar in Foyle's War, 2013. Adam brought warmth and purpose to the series, offering hope amid wartime despair. His tender romance with Samantha Stewart added emotional weight to his role. Growing up in Newcastle, Weyman was a soft-spoken boy who loved music and often played piano at church services. He began acting in local theater, where his talent was quickly recognized. Prior to Foyle's War, his screen roles were minor, but Adam paved the way to The Lord of the Rings of Power, 2022. Fame opened doors, but not without hardship. In 2015, Weyman was in a minor car accident that resulted in a back injury and months of physical therapy. The experience led to a major lifestyle shift, as he took up yoga and focused on health. His marriage to Sarah Weyman also faced strain due to his career-driven schedule. Frequent time conflicts caused serious arguments, but the couple eventually reconciled through mutual understanding. At 47 in 2025, Weyman appears slimmer, with a calm appreciation for life, a striking change from a man who once struggled with pain. He continues to work in acting and voiceover with a net worth of about £1.5 million. Anthony Howell as Paul Milner. Anthony Howell, born June 27, 1971 in the Lake District, England. When Anthony was 31, he played Paul Milner, a one-legged war veteran with a resolute heart in Foyle's War, 2002. Milner was a figure of quiet strength, overcoming the wounds of war to become Foyle's indispensable right hand, his loyalty and sharp mind adding depth to every case. With his contemplative gaze and composed presence, Howell turned Milner into one of the series' most cherished characters. Raised in the picturesque Lake District, Howell was a shy boy who found solace in literature and local drama groups. He began acting in school plays, where his talent first drew notice. Before Foyle's War, his career was mostly on the stage, but the role of Milner brought him into the television spotlight. Fame offered opportunities, but also pressure. Howell has admitted that in the early 2000s, he struggled with alcohol dependency, brought on by the stress of balancing career and family. Drinking affected his health and confidence, causing weight gain and emotional fatigue. His decision to quit alcohol in 2005 became a turning point. He took up fitness training, running, and meditation, eventually regaining both his physique and inner strength. Howell now looks younger than he did at the height of Foyle's War, with a calm, mature presence. His marriage to Georgina Sutcliffe also endured its own storms. The demanding schedule of the show kept him from home, leading to serious tension. A major fight in 2008 nearly ended the marriage, but through counseling, they reconciled. Howell also changed his emotional approach, becoming more open and placing greater value on family. Now 53, he continues to act, with notable voice work in Elden Ring, 2022, and a role as an acting coach. His estimated net worth is around £3 million. The character of Milner, shaped by hardship but strengthened by it, seems to have mirrored Howell's own transformation, inspiring him to overcome his personal battles. Julian Ovenden as Andrew Foyle. Julian Ovenden, born November 29, 1976 in Sheffield, England. When Julian was 26, he portrayed Andrew Foyle, an idealistic young RAF pilot in Foyle's War, 2002. With his romantic looks and captivating voice, Ovenden brought unexpected depth to Andrew, leaving a lasting impression on viewers. Raised in a musical household, Ovenden was a multi-talented child who sang and acted from an early age. He often performed in church choirs, where his voice was praised. Before Foyle's War, he mostly worked on stage, but playing Andrew opened doors to Downton Abbey and Bridgerton. Fame came with rewards, but also trials. Ovenden later revealed that the early 2000s and 10s were a difficult period as roles became scarce. This professional lull created stress that nearly led to a divorce from his wife, soprano Kate Royal. He turned to yoga and cycling, not just to regain fitness, but to restore inner peace. Today, Ovenden looks more polished and confident than ever, a striking evolution from his boyish earlier image. His marriage, too, survived its challenges. Conflicts over time and career pressures led to intense arguments, but they reconciled through mutual understanding and therapy. Ovenden has since become an advocate for mental health awareness, joining public campaigns and speaking openly about emotional well-being. Now 48, he continues to act and perform internationally as a singer, with an estimated net worth of £3 million. His role as Andrew, torn between duty and personal ideals, seemed to shape Ovenden himself, creating a story of emotional growth and creative rebirth. Ellie Haddington as Hilda Pierce. Ellie Haddington, born February 17, 1955 in Aberdeen, Scotland. When Ellie was 48, she portrayed Hilda Pierce, a sharp-witted intelligence officer in Foyle's War, 2003. With her piercing gaze and elegant demeanor, Haddington crafted one of the show's most magnetic female figures. Growing up in rural Scotland, She was a dreamy child who loved storytelling and organized small performances for neighbors. She began acting in school plays, where her talents quickly stood out. Before Foyle's War, she worked primarily in theater, but her role as Hilda led to key parts in Coronation Street and Motherland. Fame brought success, but not without challenge. In the 2010s, Haddington was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, a condition that introduced chronic pain into her life. She adapted by taking up meditation and long walks to manage the physical toll. At 70 in 2025, Haddington appears graceful, with silver hair and a composed, glowing presence, a remarkable transformation from someone who once quietly battled illness. She continues to work in television and holds an estimated net worth of £1.5 million. Tim McMullan as Arthur Valentine. Tim McMullan, born in 1963 in Lambeth, London. When Tim was 50, he played Arthur Valentine, a cunning and enigmatic intelligence officer in Foyle's War, 2013. Valentine's sharp mind and shadowy presence brought fresh intrigue to the later episodes of the series. Growing up in London, McMullan was a clever, history-loving boy who joined drama clubs at school. He went on to study at the University of Cambridge, where he refined his acting craft. Known for his Shakespearean stage work, he was already respected when Foyle's War introduced him to wider audiences and eventually led him to The Serpent, 2021. Success brought acclaim, but also pressure. After years of portraying villains, McMullan sank into a period of mild depression, feeling increasingly disconnected from his own identity. His marriage to Annie McMullan also came under strain due to his frequent absences. Time apart led to conflict, but they eventually reconciled through understanding and therapy. He began running marathons and sought psychological counseling, both to heal physically and to rediscover purpose. At 61 in 2025, McMullan looks fitter and more vibrant than ever, a dramatic change from the emotionally burdened man he once was. He continues to act, particularly on stage, with an estimated net worth of £2 million. His role as Valentine, layered with ambiguity and intellect, pushed McMullan into deep self-reflection and personal renewal. Jeremy Swift as Glenville Harris. Jeremy Swift, born June 27, 1960 in Stockton-on-Tees, England. When Jeremy was 53, he played Glenville Harris, a meticulous pathologist in Foyle's War, 2013. Harris was a quiet but sharp character, precise, thoughtful, and subtly humorous, who supported Foyle through complex investigations. With a serious yet warm demeanor, Swift made Harris memorable, enriching the world of the series. Raised in industrial Stockton, Swift was a naturally funny child who loved making people laugh with impressions. He began acting in local theater clubs, where he developed a distinctive comedic style. Before Foyle's War, he mostly took on supporting roles, but Harris led him to greater recognition, ultimately landing a role in Ted Lasso, 2020. Fame brought new doors, but also difficulties. In 2018, Swift was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, prompting major lifestyle changes. His marriage to Mary Roscoe also hit turbulence after he had an affair during a stressful period. They separated briefly in 2019, but reconciled through therapy and forgiveness. Swift committed to a new diet and fitness regimen, not only to manage his condition but to rebuild his confidence. At 64 in 2025, Swift appears leaner, with a vibrant and optimistic energy, a striking turnaround from a man once struggling with his health. He remains active in acting, especially in comedy, and has an estimated net worth of £3 million. The role of Harris, with its blend of precision and humor, marked the beginning of a dramatic personal and professional renewal. Rupert Vansittart as Sir Alec Myerson. Rupert Vansittart, born February 10, 1958 in Cranley, Surrey, England. When Rupert was 55, he portrayed Sir Alec Myerson, a powerful government figure in Foyle's War, 2013. With his commanding presence and booming voice, Vansittart brought Meyerson vividly to life, amplifying the tension of the series. Growing up in the English countryside, Vansittart was an energetic boy who loved sports and frequently took part in school plays. He studied at Oxford University, where his love for acting deepened. Before Foyle's War, he was already recognized for Game of Thrones, 2011, but Meyerson showcased his gift for portraying morally ambiguous authority figures. Success brought attention, but also struggle. In the 2010s, Vansittart developed a mild alcohol dependency due to the pressure of playing intense characters. His marriage to Emma Watson, not the actress, also went through a rocky period, especially after rumors of infidelity. The couple briefly separated in 2015, but reconciled through forgiveness and counseling. He began rehab programs and embraced exercise, not only to restore his health, but to rebuild his self-worth. At 66 in 2025, Vansittart looks stronger and more approachable, a powerful shift from a man once burdened by internal conflict. Still working in historical dramas, he has an estimated net worth of £2.5 million. The role of Sir Alec, filled with contradictions, seemed to prompt Vansittart to confront his own and grow from them. David Horovitch as Thomas Kramer. David Horovitch, born September 11, 1945 in London, England. When David was 57, he portrayed Thomas Kramer, a shadowy figure in Foyle's War, 2002. Kramer was a mysterious man with murky motives, injecting tension and intrigue into Foyle's cases. Growing up in London, Horovitch was a studious boy with a love for history, often found reading quietly in libraries. He began acting in school plays and was praised early for his deep, commanding voice. Before Foyle's War, he had a steady career with credits like The Young Victoria, 2009, but Kramer brought new attention to his subtle talents. Fame opened doors, but not without hardship. In 2015, Horovitch was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, which required surgery and brought major lifestyle changes. His marriage to Jane Elizabeth Horovitch was also tested, as his intense career focus led to friction. Though arguments became common, their understanding of one another held them together. At 79 in 2025, Horovitch is thinner, but his presence is filled with quiet resilience, a remarkable transformation from a man once battling illness. He continues to act, mostly on stage, and has an estimated net worth of £2 million. His role as Kramer, layered and emotionally complex, reflects the inner strength Horovitch has shown in his real life. Mark Umbers as Rex Talbot. Mark Umbers, born June 17, 1973, in Harrogate, North Yorkshire, England. When Mark was 29, he played Rex Talbot, an ambitious and charming figure in Foyle's War, 2002. Talbot's suave exterior masked scheming motives, injecting a dose of dramatic tension into the series. Raised in Harrogate, Umbers was a romantic child with a love for poetry and stage performance. He studied at Oxford University, where he honed his craft. Before Foyle's War, he was mostly known for theater, but the role of Talbot transitioned him into television work. Fame offered new paths, but also setbacks. In 2010, Umbers suffered a serious skiing accident that broke his shoulder and required months of rehabilitation. The incident triggered a lifestyle overhaul. He began working out regularly and focused more on health. His marriage to Lucy Umbers also faced strain due to frequent work travel. Intense arguments followed, but understanding brought them back together. At 51 in 2025, Umbers appears leaner and more grounded, a stark contrast to the man once battling physical pain. He continues acting across both stage and screen and holds an estimated net worth of £1.5 million. The role of Talbot, filled with inner conflict, seems to have helped Umbers grow beyond his struggles, crafting a story of quiet reinvention. Hermione Gulliford, as Elizabeth Addis, Hermione Gulliford, born February 15, 1971 in London, England. When Hermione was 44, she portrayed Elizabeth Addis, a strong-willed woman in Foyle's War, 2013. Elizabeth was resilient and sharp, navigating the hardships of wartime with poise and intelligence, bringing emotional depth and gravitas to the series. Raised in London, Gulliford was a creative child who loved painting and performing. She began acting in school plays where her natural talent was quickly noticed. Before Foyle's War, she worked primarily on stage, but the role of Elizabeth marked her breakthrough into television. Fame brought opportunity, but also challenge. In 2017, Gulliford was diagnosed with arthritis, a condition that forced her to confront chronic pain. She turned to yoga and a plant-based diet, not just for physical relief, but also to regain her confidence. By 2025, at age 53, Gulliford looks graceful and serene, a remarkable transformation from the woman who once struggled with illness. Her marriage, kept largely private, was tested after rumors of infidelity during a difficult period. The couple briefly separated in 2018, but later reconciled through forgiveness and therapy. Gulliford continues to act, particularly in theater, with an estimated net worth of £1 million. Her portrayal of Elizabeth, a portrait of courage, seems to have mirrored her own journey through adversity, crafting a story rich in resilience. Michael Simkins as Hugh Reed. Michael Simkins, born November 6, 1956 in London, England. When Michael was 46, he played Hugh Reed, a commanding yet emotionally complex figure in Foyle's War, 2002. With a warm voice and composed demeanor, Simkins brought subtle intensity to Reed, making him a standout in the show's moral tapestry. Raised in London, Simkins was a witty child who loved writing and often made people laugh with his stories. He began performing in local drama clubs, where he developed a distinctive voice and stage presence. Before Foyle's War, he had an established theater career, but Reed showcased the full breadth of his screen talent. Success, however, came with personal trials. In the 2000s, Simkins developed a mild drinking problem, the result of mounting pressure from balancing his professional and personal life. He entered recovery programs and began writing books, not just to heal, but to rediscover his identity. By 2025, now 69, he exudes calm and confidence, a profound shift from the man once weighed down by emotional struggle. His marriage to actress Julia Deakin also faced upheaval following an affair. The betrayal led to a separation in 2005, but the two eventually reconciled through counseling and emotional growth. Simkins remains active in both acting and writing, with an estimated net worth of £1.5 million. His performance as Reed, marked by inner conflict and quiet strength, reflects his own journey of redemption, crafting a powerful tale of personal reinvention. Which Foyle's War character is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating then and now stories. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.